In 3 off-season trades, the Boston Celtics acquired Jrue Holiday, Kristaps Porzingis, and 5 second-round picks. So what did it cost them? Marcus Smart, Robert Williams III, Malcolm Brogdon, Grant Williams, and a 2029 unprotected first. According to NBA reporter Eric Slater, it's a fair question as to how much better Boston even got, if at all. And that's because the Celtics have sacrificed depth for 2 players in Holiday and Porzingis who are all-star caliber but have other concerns, mainly health and fit. The Celtics revamped their roster more than any other contender this offseason and are taking a huge gamble. This video takes a deep dive into that and offers some ways the Celtics can add some key pieces to their roster to help fill it out. First though, my name is Troy and welcome to the Half Court Report. If you could, please do me a solid and like this video and subscribe to the channel as well. It really helps in getting this out in front of more people and it helps in growing the channel. I would love to have you be a part of the community we have going on here. Let's begin with Kristaps Porzingis. He came to Boston in a 3-team trade that shipped out Celtics fan favorite Marcus Smart. Now on the surface, this is a trade win. KP has career averages of 19.6 points, about 8 rebounds, and nearly 2 blocks a game. He can hit the 3, scores inside, plays defense, and does all the little things you'd expect from a 7'3" unicorn. But his injury history is a major concern. Last year, he played in 65 games. That's good, but it's the most he's played since the 2016 season. Look at this list of injuries. I understand getting banged up from time to time is part of the game, but man oh man, it is more concerning for guys as tall as Kristaps Porzingis. And these are not minor injuries either. Wow, I'm still scrolling. This is a lot of wear and tear on KP's body. He tore his ACL and his meniscus in separate instances. The ACL caused him to miss a whole season. And if history is any indication, we can expect Porzingis to miss about 20 games at minimum. And did I mention that Al Horford, his teammate in the front court, is 37 years old and has played in over 1,000 career minutes? Pencil him in to miss 10 to 15 games too. The issue is that the Celtics don't have any backups to step in. Last year, the team had Grant Williams, Robert Williams III, Mike Muscala, and even Blake Griffin. This year, they're relying on O'Shea Brissett and Luke Cornett. I mean, if you're really desperate, you've got Neemias Queta on a 2-way, and they also recently signed Wenyen Gabriel to their training camp roster. But yeah, not super exciting. It's slim pickings in free agency too. Names like Bismack Biyombo, Nerlens Noel, Dwayne Dedmon, and there are other guys who don't have alliterative first and last names, like the aforementioned Blake Griffin. In all honesty, Blake would probably be your best bet. Last season, he averaged about 14 minutes in 41 games, and those included 16 starts during the regular season. All in all, he averaged about 4 points, 4 rebounds, and over an assist, shooting nearly 50% from the field and about 35% from 3. But in those 16 starts, he did step it up, posting 8 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists while shooting over 50% from the field and close to 40% from beyond the arc. He was great in the locker room too, and you need players that can keep the mood light and keep spirits up over a long 82-game season. And besides being a fan favorite, Blake was a valuable veteran presence and a capable backup for Robert Williams III and Al Horford in the front court. The word is that the Celtics would be open to bringing Blake back to Beantown. Say that 5 times fast. But he might just decide to retire. So if I'm a Celtics fan, go ahead and get your Luke Cornett jersey stat. Now let's talk about Jrue Holiday. With Jrue, it's less about injury concerns and more about the unknown and what was given up to get him on the team. After trading away 2 of their most important role players, I'm talking about Robert Williams III being the lead shot blocker and then Brogdon being the biggest key to that second unit, those responsibilities will now fall onto somebody else. So it could be argued that the injury concerns for Williams and Brogdon were troublesome enough to the Celtics for them to make this move, or at the very least, those injury concerns were a ticking time bomb. Williams missed a lot of last year with injuries. Malcolm Brogdon's knees are almost blacklisted across the NBA, and that dates back to when he was coming out of college. That's why he fell so far in the draft. So time will tell on if that was the best decision to get rid of those guys. But still, there's going to be a learning curve like with any new player. And back to Holiday, he's very accustomed to playing alongside ball-dominant scorers. That was the case with Giannis in Milwaukee. It even goes back to when he was in New Orleans and played with Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins. So sharing the ball with Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, or Porzingis isn't going to be too much of an issue. Holiday does a lot of off-ball actions, whether it's moving around trying to get open looks through screens or just staying in one spot and waiting for the ball to get to him to take the shot. And when he is acting as the primary ball handler, he's in the top tier of playmakers in the league. He averages around 7 assists per game. And most of those assists come from backdoor cuts or catch-and-shoot jump shots. And those are both ideal ways that the Celtics offense likes to operate under coach Joe Mazzulla. Holiday is also regarded as one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA. I don't think he's as good as Marcus Smart in that area, but he is pretty close. And even at 33 years old, having the experience of guarding the other team's star players in the backcourt is going to come in very, very handy as the Celtics try to claim another championship. And that's what it's all about, a championship. So is this team comprised of players prepared to sacrifice individual success for the betterment of the team in pursuit of the Conan O'Brien trophy?
What?
The thing about Mazzulla, though, is that he's plenty willing to make that adjustment. When asked about it, he said, I think we have a level of flexibility in order for us to maximize our roster on both ends of the floor. And I think flexibility and malleability and the ability, wow, that's a lot of abilities, to go to different matchups has to be a strength of ours. So there will be a time where we say this is what we're doing, but I think that we have to be as open-minded as possible to play in those different ways. Guys, I am excited for this Celtics season, and I think the team has probably the best top 6 in the league. So who's going to sit? Who's going to start? Who's going to close out games? All going to be very exciting to follow. That's what I think, but make sure you tell me in the comments your thoughts on this new Celtics lineup, and tell me what you think about the Jrue Holiday trade too. Since you've watched this far, be sure to drop a like for the YouTube algorithm. Click that subscribe button too so you never miss another NBA or Celtics video. Talking about Blake Griffin earlier in this video makes me think about how good he was back in the day, and I would just love to see him try to turn back the clock another year playing for the Boston Celtics. But hey, injuries are killer, man. Just part of the game, and you know who else has been suffering from a long injury history? That's Zion Williamson, has just not been able to stay healthy. There's been lots of stuff going on with him that's keeping him from realizing his full potential, but there are some new pictures that came out, and Zion is looking unrecognizable. So it got me thinking, is this finally the year that he proves all the haters wrong? I actually did a whole video on it just in time for the new season, so you got to check that out. Let me know what you think, and I will catch you next time on the Half Court Report.